I think it's important to show the reality of being human. It's honestly not bad. It's not good either. Very yellow. But can you tell? Can you tell the difference? Can you tell the difference? Can you tell that I got a new lens? This lighting is making my teeth look awfully yellow. Yeah, that's good. It's not bad. I actually went in thinking that I was getting a different lens, and the guy was like, that doesn't actually even go on your camera. So he ended up showing me this one, and it was cheaper anyway, so I was like, I'll take it. How do I work this? It's very crooked. So I am very grieving today, and I wanted to talk a little bit about grief. Good grief. Because I feel like even for people who deal with it, it's not talked about enough, and it's a very confusing thing to go through, especially when it's like multiple people at once. I'm really praying to God that this lighting is not god awful. I just can't get over how beautiful this lens is. I'm like so excited. So I'm just gonna talk a bit about grief. So grief is so weird because I was good for a while. I look dead. Oh my god, like I actually look really dead. I just can't get over it. Look at that. I was good for a while, and honestly, being back in my hometown, you know, the last place, I'm gonna get emotional in this video, I already know I am. This being the last place that I saw my loved ones alive, and you know, there being a lot of memories here, and I think that is hard. Also, you know, I don't really have friends here anymore. I don't really, I mean, I have my family, but to be missing those two people that I know, this is gonna sound so sad. I don't feel at this point in my life that I have someone to call when something good happens or to call when something bad happens. I kind of just have my dog and me to process it. And like when I moved into the place I'm in now, like I really wanted to call my mom and show her, and I obviously can't do that. My best friend comes to me in my dreams a lot, as well as shows up in a lot of ways that I said this when my mom passed too. Like I feel more connected to them now that they're gone, because it's like, for one, these two people were the only two people that I felt pure unconditional love and understanding from. My dog is looking at himself in the mirror. Freak. Okay, he doesn't, whatever. So to have now just like eternal, I don't know, I just feel closer to them now than I ever have. It's like, wow. It was like I was so connected to my friend in life, and I'm still so connected to him in death. And I think that's just like so crazy. It's so crazy. So I was okay for a while, and he came to me in my dreams last night, and I kept sleeping. Like I wanted to stay asleep, and now all day I have been like on and off crying. Like it really just sneaks up on you. I've noticed as the year has passed for both of them, it's not so much the finality of it, it's just like sometimes your brain is like, wait, remember? They're literally not on earth anymore. Like it's like weird, like you will always know. It's like my mom, like I'll always miss my mom because she'll always be my mom and she'll always not be here on earth from now on. And there was this quote that this guy said, it was going around on TikTok a while ago: now I have to miss you for longer than I've known you. And that just like right in the heart. And the same thing with I'm like snotting everywhere. The same thing with my friend, because I truly just never had a connection like that with anyone, and I don't think I've ever made a video crying. And I'm not doing this for pity. None of my videos that I'm gonna talk about like my life experiences are for pity or anything like that. I think it's important to show the reality of being human, the reality of being human, that we're all gonna grieve at some point in our lives if we haven't already. Somebody that you love is going to die while you're alive, and if we don't know how to, I feel like it's very normal to mask our grief, pretend that it isn't there, and I've never been that way since grieving. And it's weird because so last September 2021 my aunt passed away, and I was only able to grieve her for 2 days, and then I got the phone call that my mom passed away. So the focus no longer was on my aunt for me, it was on my mom. Then I found out that someone that was very close to me passed away a few months before, 2 months after my mom. I honestly think that that happened on purpose. I don't think that I would be here if I found out 2 months after my mom passed that my friend passed away. I don't think I would have been able to handle that. So when I found out, I was really upset that I found out so late, but I think that was kind of him and my mom, you know, protecting me, because I really don't think I went into a very deep depression when I found out that he passed. Grief is weird because there's no right or wrong way to deal with it or cope. You know, I feel like some people either become their grief or completely ignore the fact that it's even a part of their life. I had to befriend my grief because I knew that it wasn't going anywhere, and I knew that, you know, I couldn't run from it per se. So I knew that I had to live with it. I don't know how. I think it was just the power in the connection that I had with my mom specifically. I'm gonna make a whole video on, you know, losing my mother at such a young age, or not even such a young age, but a very important age. I feel like it's the time that a young woman needs her mother. But we didn't really have a great relationship most of my life until the last about year of her life. We got really close, and we started to build the kind of relationship that I had always wanted with her, and then it was taken from me. She was taken from me, and I think that was the hardest part, knowing I don't really talk about this a lot. So A, I just realized no one really understands, and B, no one really cares. And I'm not saying that, again, I'm not saying any of this to like pity. The reality of all of it is that I'm just human experiencing a human experience. I'm really being open about it because grief specifically, people aren't open about, and there might be someone out there that needs to hear the things that I'm saying to know that they're not alone, or just to know that you can live with grief. It sure is interesting. I've never experienced anything like it. When I found out that my friend had passed, my attention was now on him. And, you know, I felt guilty when my mom died and I was not thinking of my aunt anymore. And then I was guilty when I wasn't thinking of my mom when my friend died. Grief is the reason that you go into shock like the first however long is because your body is literally protecting you from the pain of it. I remember the day my mom died, I felt, and there's a statue that depicts this very well, I felt cold from here all the way down my torso, just like a hole. It felt like a cold, open, empty space. It was the weirdest feeling, and I was like it was summer, basically. It was September, so it wasn't cold out, but I was shivering. I was in such shock. I'd never experienced anything like that. And then when I found out my friend died, my soul like left my body. It was the weirdest feeling. It really is indescribable. And another thing about grief, it doesn't matter you and another person have been through even the same loss of the same person, because grief is as individual as love, so the relationships are different. Even let's say I lost my mom, someone else loses their mom, it's still totally 100% different, because as humans we're just so individual, and like I said, like the relationships are individual, so it really is absolutely indescribable. I think just letting yourself feel is the most important thing. Don't avoid it. Like today, I just let myself see. I'm not wiping my tears right away. I'm letting myself cry. When I get like this too, I like to I'm very connected with music, especially with my friend that passed. When I'm missing him, I will listen to certain music. I'm just thinking about it because earlier I was literally crying my eyes out on the way to Best Buy. Like listening to all these songs and like singing but like choking back tears. Like just, but it's good to let it out. And so my friend is buried, my mom is cremated. I think it is important, if you don't have like a resting place for them, to not make a shrine or anything unless you want to, but you know, have something special for the two of you. Something that I do, and I haven't done it since 1 year. Yeah, since my mom's 1 year. I go to the beach, like the ocean, wherever I am, and I let flowers out for her. Just like something little like that that can connect you to. For me, I don't know why, especially with my friend, we had such a connection that, like I was saying, even in death, it's still super strong, even maybe stronger than it was when he was alive, which that just sucks, you know, especially to be in your head like, oh, was that real? It's not like I could ask him, you know, and then I could ask him because something crazy happened. I was searching for my old text messages, trying to find like our last conversation, something, anything. For 6 months I couldn't find them. I could not figure out how to get them back. On his 9-month anniversary of death, I clicked one button on my phone. I was trying to do it on my laptop, I think. I clicked one button on my phone and all of my old messages came back. And the messages that I read from him and our conversation just like was exactly what I'm like snotting everywhere. It was exactly what I needed to hear, and it was the reassurance that I needed, that it wasn't all in my head. I wasn't delusional, like it was mutual. And I'm just grateful, and I feel very privileged to have been loved by him and to have been able to know and love him. Shit sucks. It really does. It's such a weird thing. For a while I was like, so grief is weird because it really does happen. I don't want to say in stages, but it's just like any healing is not linear. It's just so different over time. Like a few months ago, I was talk to him all the time, talk to my mom. I just like felt really like almost out of touch with reality, and more so on like the spiritual side, which can get pickly. Like a week or two ago, or a little more than that maybe, I just like had this thought in my head thinking about the both of them, and like they're gone. It's gonna sound harsh. Like a lot of things I say, who they were as humans no longer exists on Earth. And that's weird. It's weird because it's like, it's almost like, am I going crazy? Like, not in the sense that like, was that real? Were they real? Obviously they were real. It's more so like a mind fuck, because it's like all you have is memories, your loved ones. This is good for me. This is healing. Like genuinely, because I don't really talk about my grief or anything of the sort, because I just feel like people don't get it. But I could talk to a million strangers. Not that this is gonna get a million views, well, who knows. Like, I make these videos not for pity. Like I said, it's honestly healing for me, and I feel like it could help other people. And I'm really sorry, by the way, I've been looking at the viewfinder this whole time because I'm just in awe of the lens quality. I don't know what I was saying. God damn it. Your loved one only exists in the past. And I'm a very like I was saying in my other videos, I very much so live in the present moment lately. And it's like, how can you not somewhat live in the past when that's... I'm sorry if I have snot everywhere in this video. How can you not somewhat live in the past when that's where your loved ones live? spiritually they may exist in the present, but it's different. I won't say that they're gone because I know they're not, and it's just different. It's like building a different relationship with them where you can say everything you want and they can't answer, and you know, not that it's one-sided, but it's two different realms. I'd like to hear you guys if you have had any signs from past loved ones or just your experience with grief. I think it is, like I said, so individual, and there's no right or wrong anything. I've learned to walk alongside grief because, like I said, it's not going anywhere, and I don't really think that ignoring it and ignoring the feelings is healthy. I mean, I don't really ignore my feelings anymore in any circumstance, but this especially, it's like, how can you just like shove that under the rug? Energy just doesn't die. I fully believe that. Like, I might make like a grief diary. That was really interesting. So I might make this like part 1 grief journal, grief diary. Grief journal does not sound as cute as diary. You guys should feel pretty special, or you know, the whole entire internet should feel really special that I'm just like bawling my eyes out on camera. Like I said, please don't pity me. Please don't think that I'm trying to. My snot is dripping. This is all just like a collective learning and feeling. I really think it is so important to feel your feelings, and you don't necessarily have to talk about them. I just have always talked to a camera since I'm like 10 years old, and I think it's helpful. Like, I feel better now, and I'm gonna edit this video and post it, and like, you guys are gonna see me crying online. Please leave a comment down below if you've lost a loved one. Say their name and tell me your favorite memory with them. I'll say mine because I just thought of a really cute idea. So my favorite memory with my Aunt Linda. I don't know if this actually ever happened, but like I really feel like it did, and I've always thought that this happened. I was like 4 years old and I was sitting on her lap in the car, and she let me park the car. And I don't know that that's my favorite memory, but it's like a memory that I've always had, and I think that's just, yeah, I love her and I miss her. Favorite memory with my mom? Is that messed up that I'm like having a hard time thinking of one? My favorite memory with my mom is probably just the last year of her life, like just getting to know her, like thinking in my head like my mom's pretty cool, like yeah, I just bonding with her. My favorite memory with my friend Carter, all of them. That's the one that's like gets me the most emotional for some reason, and I feel bad. It's like, why am I not crying when I just was talking about my mom and my aunt? I loved all my memories with him. He would play me the guitar and we would just like laugh our heads off and just be, and it was really nice, and I miss him. So share your favorite memories with your loved ones that have passed in the comments and tell me their name, and I will check back in. Bye.